So today we're doing another quick little sketch. I did a tutorial a while ago, hopefully you can see this in the video up here. There was this panorama. It's really quite a nice image, but this was a little bit detailed, and you know, it was probably an hour worth of arty sketching and painting with some quite nice sort of subtle effects in it. And I saw a similar image. It may even be of the same spot actually, but it had the most amazing sky. And I thought, I wonder if I can simplify that down into a sort of 10-minute artwork. You know, I thought might be good for, you know, a beginner, the idea of doing something a little bit simpler, a little bit stripped back. So it's going to be like a 10-minute landscape watercolor, or I guess you could call it a line and wash, because that's the kind of technique really. Okay, so there's the reference image. It's going to be up on the screen now. And as you can see, what we've got is we've got a kind of halfway 50-50 split for the horizon. I'm going to make the grass a little bit more smaller to make a bit more of a juicy sky. So what I'm going to do effectively is zoom in and pull the horizon down to like a third, and then I'm going to try and capture a little bit of that sky. So there's going to be very little line work in this, really quite minimal. So something slightly different that I'm going to do with this one is, instead of using my usual deep light watercolors, I'm going to use this Cotman set. So I've got no affiliation with Winsor Newton or Cotman at all. It's just that this set is the kind of thing that you would use as a beginner. So we're going to be using that. Right, so let's crack on with some of this line work. So I've been using the Lamy Safari fountain pen, and this has platinum carbon black ink in, which is waterproof when dry. So the first thing we're going to be doing is putting in about a third of the way up, so I can kind of guess that. I want to leave a little bit of space around the drawing to let it sort of breathe a little bit. So we're going to be putting in that kind of vague horizon line here. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we have some details. So we've got a little bit of a telephone post there. I love telephone posts. I think they add a real structure to sort of landscapes. I'm going to add in these straw bales here, big square bales. Maybe they're round. I don't know. A bit of a fence. And there's a tractor there. And then behind those straw bales, we have a marvelous tree. So I'm going to put in a kind of broken line, because what I'm going to do is add that tree in with paint. I must remember to try and be super brief with this. Some more stuff. And then we're going to put this house in. Now, this house is basically a triangle at a gable end. There's a bit of a porch, I think, on the back of it. There's a chimney, and then 4 windows. There's going to be other stuff around it, probably more like a vehicles. There's a shed here. I'm not sure whether this is exactly the same scene as the one I did before. Looks like a kind of hen house type job. And then we have more of these posts. I'm going to just put in some, little cables. Now there's looks like a sort of shipping container thing there. A couple of little houses. And I'm going to miss out all that irrigation stuff that's over there. Looks like another tractor. We can put a little pickup or something in here, but we don't need to do too much. Right, so that's it. Super simple line work. And the rest of it really is going to come down to the painting. So let's do some dramatic skies. So I'm going to get some water, literally just splash it on here. Doesn't matter if it pulls up. I'm going to put that on there. Now, I want something in the background, some of this blue. You see in the reference drawing, there's a little bit of blue just in the top here. So I'm going to get a little bit of that and drop that in. I might even put just a couple of like little splashes up there. Right, so that's that little bit of blue. And then there's an awful lot of grey. So I'm going to take some of this French ultramarine, which I believe it is. I'm actually sure. Ultramarine it calls itself. There we go. And some of the burnt umber. Oh no, it's this one, isn't it? And that's going to mix me a nice grey, a bit more blue in there. It looks too brown. And that's going to give me a grey. So let's add in some of this sky detail. So I'm kind of just pushing the brush around a little bit. It really doesn't matter if we mess this up. It is kind of always a bit interesting and risky doing skies like this. Sometimes it either goes really right or kind of just go wrong. Okay, and then we have some more details in here. And then this storm looks like it's kind of coming down to the ground here. Now there's a big yellow bit in this side, so I'm going to take some of that yellow cadmium, which is kind of quite a nice, you see that's gone green. We didn't want that, so let's dry that off. Let's go with something a little bit more like that. And then a bit stormy colours. And I think I could probably go a little bit darker with greys. A little bit more. I use so much ultramarine, I really do. It's one of those ones that just gets hammered. Let's go some dark under these clouds here. So if you're enjoying this, do like and subscribe and drop a comment below. It really helps me get my sort of videos out there. Thank you. I'm just using my finger to move a little bit of that about. So the next bit is I'm going to take a little bit of this Viridian and just make sure it's nice and diffuse. Bit of sap green, and I'm going to put in a bit of a horizon line here just behind this house. I don't really care if that, you know, blocks into it. It doesn't really matter. And then some more of this sap green here. Now it's quite difficult to really put in all this grass texture because there's so much of it. So sometimes with something like this, what I get tempted to do is to take some extreme foreground. I'm going to bash this and I'm just going to put in some tufts here. I'm going quite low, aren't I? So I'm going to hair dry that now, and then I'm just going to go back in and just do a few details in there, and then we're done. So one of the things I find with the Cotman set is the paints activate really quickly, which is great, but I do find that the colours, the pigmentation is very light. So let's pop this tree in. So generally, I think these Cotman colours are pretty good. I mean, for the price, they're spot on, but you do need to add in a little bit more pigment than you kind of think, I think, in a way. And then finally, let's just put in some of this window detail here. There we go. So I like that. It's fun. It's quite different to my previous one. So in summary, working this quickly has actually kind of slightly fudging some elements has caused some problems. I'm sure, as you can see here on this side, we've got a bloom in the sky, which does take away a little bit of the magic of it. There's some really nice things in the sky, but this rough paper doesn't lend itself to sort of smooth skies because you get this kind of denim effect in the texture. But there's a lot of interesting things there. The foreground for me needs a lot more contrast, I think. But for a quick sketch, there's nothing wrong with it. It's fun. I hope you guys can see there that just off a tiny minimal bit of line work, you can hang quite a sort of dramatic and big painting. I just want to say super quickly, if you'd like full lessons, drawing fundamentals, watercolors, urban sketching, loads of really cool stuff from fountain pens and things, check out my Patreon. There's a link in the description, and for the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can subscribe to 200 full-length videos, and there's loads of really nice content on there. It's a lovely little community of folks as well, so do check out my Patreon link. Thank you. Wholly used to these Cotman watercolors. I mean, value for money wise, there's nothing wrong with them. They're only kind of like, you know, 15, 20 bucks. Pretty good for what they are. If you're a beginner, there's obviously much more interesting products out there, like Deep Light watercolors, one of my favorites. There's a 10% discount in the description below. You know, I like Daniel Smith. I think Schmink can make good stuff. There's quite a lot of watercolor manufacturers out there doing some really cool things, actually, you know, metallics and shimmer and all these things. But it is nice to go back to basics sometimes and just have a play. So see you again. Have a great week. Bye bye.